It was supposed to be the biggest show on Disney Plus, a huge streaming success, the grandest thing we had seen in all of 2024. The few sycophants of Kathleen Kennedy and Leslie Headland were crowing. But now, folks, we are knowing that Disney has been gaslighting us the whole way. Today, we're here to share with you that the Acolyte is severely underperforming, just as we said before. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we endeavor to explain entertainment, keep you ahead of the culture curve, and by golly, we did just that. Kept you ahead of the culture curve by telling you that something was amiss, something was skewed when it came to the ratings, the viewership that Disney was putting out there for the Acolyte. And looky, we already have the data coming in. I'm not sure they were ready for this, but it has everyone out there saying, hey, Mickey, we'd really like it now if you would stop gaslighting us, because we are quickly catching on to what is going on. And frankly, folks, that's because of channels such as this, Valiant Renegade, and so many others out there, Midnight's Edge included. We've all been saying, hey, the data doesn't back this up. And also, you've been putting this into a number of parameters that make it really easy for you to claim you've got a record. It's the greatest show ever released on a Wednesday at 7:35 p.m. Central Time. No, you don't get to do that, and I'm just making that part. Folks, as we get ready to go into this video, we're going to show you the actual numbers the Acolyte is doing and why tonight just might be the death of Star Wars. As we do so, consider clicking the like button. And folks, don't forget that tonight we will have the Acolyte after party starting at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time right here on the Pro Channel, where we will be saying farewell, perhaps a Star Wars wake, as we review episode 3, where we know they're actually going to make the Force female. Folks, also during the Acolyte after party, we're going to be announcing what it is that we've been working on for many months now, a secret project coming to you. It is our first step into original entertainment content, not simply being a critic, but now being a creative. And folks, we're here to tell you we're launching that item on Thursday. So if you'd like to know what it is that we're making and have been making, we'll tell you tonight. Then we're releasing it Thursday. And folks, you don't have to do a GoFundMe. You don't have to do an Indiegogo. You don't have to hope that we'll deliver in 2 years. We're bringing it to you Thursday. It's already made, and we're giving it to you for free. All right, folks, let's dive into the article. This is by John Trent over at That Part Place. Confirmed the Acolyte performs worse than Ahsoka. Global minutes viewed less than Ahsoka's U.S. premiere viewership. And things are not going well for Disney here. By the way, this is why That Part Place is so important, folks. This gets this out there, and then the mainstream has to follow along eventually. A new report confirms that the Acolyte performed worse than Ahsoka on Disney+. Deadline's Katie Campione reported that, according to Lucasfilm data, the Acolyte's 2-episode premiere only attracted 11.1 million viewers globally after 5 days of streaming. Now, remember, folks, the way that Disney tried to gaslight us was they released the 1 day for the Acolyte, and then we only knew the Ahsoka's 5-day, and then we were told, oh, well, this means that the Acolyte beat Ahsoka. And we all looked at it and said, no, because viewership tapers off over time. You can't take this and say, well, every one of the 5 days, that the Acolyte's going to be out there is going to have the same level of viewership. That's insanity. That's not how this works at all. That's how we were being gaslit, of course. This report confirms that the Acolyte performed worse than the most recent Star Wars live-action series, Dave Filoni's Ahsoka. According to a blog post on StarWars.com, Lucasfilm reported that the debut episode of Ahsoka garnered 14 million views, making the series #1 globally on the streaming platform. Again, on the streaming platform that is Disney+. And what have we talked about here, folks? Disney Plus is no longer a streaming platform of prestige. It's about to drop out of the top 5. They don't tell you that. They don't want you to know that. Tubi is about to kick Disney Plus out of the top 5. They do not want you to know that Disney Plus is about to be out of the top 5 in terms of viewership. And remember, I don't care about subscribers, not to a great extent, when you're bringing in so many subscribers essentially for free from all of these different third parties, Verizon, Charter, and all of this. The subs are meaningless to me. I want to know what's the viewership. In a footnote, Lucasfilm noted that a view is defined as a total stream time divided by runtime available. Again, folks. They make it complicated and on purpose. And they release 2 episodes and maybe double count them. So let's go back up. I want to show you this. So here's what we don't know. The Acolyte's 2-episode premiere only attracted 11.1 million views. Here's what we don't know, folks. Is that 11.1 million views for both episodes, or is that 11.1 million views for each episode? We don't know the answer to that. If it's 11.1 for each of the episodes, then good job. If it's essentially, 5.5 million views for episode 1 and 5.5 million views for episode 2, well, that's a problem. That means the total minutes viewed globally for the Acolyte was around 820 million, while Ahsoka was likely around 1.4 billion minutes viewed, going back up to this paragraph above. However, it's unclear how accurate the Walt Disney Company's reporting actually is. Data tracking company Nielsen reported that Ahsoka's 2-episode premiere garnered 829 million minutes viewed in the U.S. alone. So take a look at that. Where did Ahsoka land on its premiere? It landed at the number 5 spot. And folks, we can share with you too that Ahsoka, remember this was a big deal when it happened, Ahsoka did not even debut as the number 1 when it came to the original content. So even when you went to the subcategory of just original TV shows on a streaming platform, it still landed at number 2. This is from TV Line by Matt Webb Midovich, and it's back from September 21st of 2023. So not even a year ago. Now, why does this matter, folks? Well, because I want to recall for a moment what happened to Ahsoka. So Ahsoka, if we go back to Bounding into Comics, this again from September 2023, fell completely off the Nielsen overall top 10 chart, and the second week was nearly identical to Andor. But eventually it fell completely out of the entire Nielsen charting. It says Lucasfilm's latest Star Wars Disney Plus show, Ahsoka, fell off Nielsen's overall top 10 chart in its second week. In its first week of release, the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka racked up 829 million minutes. And folks, Dave Filoni is a disaster. I hate to say that. I don't want to be mean to anybody, but Dave Filoni put out a show that had enough goodwill that many people tuned in to see what was going to happen. And then by the second episode, they were gone. And it did not get better. It got worse. It got way worse as the series went along. So here's the question for you, folks, going back to that Park Place. If that's what happened to Ahsoka, and if we know the Acolyte tonight is going to turn the Force completely female, and it's going to be an episode centered around a coven of lesbian witches who are going to make a butt baby Acolyte, or butt baby twins, folks, what do you think is going to happen to the viewership after tonight? Now, tonight, here's what I think is going to happen. This is amazing. What I think is going to happen tonight is that I think it's going to have bigger viewership than the premiere. Everybody hang with me on this. I think tonight's going to have bigger viewership than the premiere. Could be wrong, but I think this. And I think that the media is going to run with that. And the media, yet again, folks, you are aware of how this works, and we know them better than they know themselves. Folks, the media is going to run with that narrative that it's gaining popularity. I'm here to tell you, I think people are going to tune in tonight because there is this buildup now of people saying, I have to see what it is they're going to do to destroy Star Wars. And then, ladies and gentlemen, after this episode, it's over. And I think this thing is going to drop like a rock after tonight. And all of these people that Star Wars and Lucasfilm are chasing, right? These people who look like they crashed into a splats factory. Those people are not going to tune in because they don't care. They care about the dumpster fire, but they don't care about being in the dumpster, clearly. So they love the online chatter. They love dragging and smashing and putting down anyone who liked actual Star Wars before, but they don't actually view the content. They're not actually consumers of the brand. And tonight, we're going to have their grand celebration, but we're going to have some fun too, because it's got to be the end of Kathleen Kennedy's vision for Star Wars, because next week, folks, we're to tell you, the audience is gone. And so that's what's going to play out. As noted by X user, now it's known, the total minutes viewed dropped to 575 million minutes viewed the week of its finale. Talking about Ahsoka, that was worse than Andor, which racked up 674 million minutes the week its finale debuted. Remember, Star Wars was once upon a time the biggest franchise on the planet, And when I say that, I mean it was until Disney bought it. And it still was until The Last Jedi. And The Last Jedi destroyed the franchise. It did, it has, it always did. And there's no going back. It wasn't Russian AI bots, flooding Rotten Tomatoes. No, it was an actual outcry of the general public that this sucked. It's always been that. It's never changed. And the people who have been saying it's otherwise, they're gaslighting you too. And so we're all over it. We've all figured this out. That's why what we're releasing Thursday is so important, because it's our first step into making our own original content for you, because we're sick and tired of watching these companies do what they do, and we think we can do better. We're going to, by golly. You tune in, find out. It says, as anticipated, Ahsoka season finale came in under Andor's by 99 million minutes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what that means is that when we get to the Acolyte and we get to the Nielsen numbers for the first week, we're likely to see it in the bottom half of the new or of content, bottom half. And that's fine. The problem is it'll get a bump in the third week and then it's going to crash. And it's just going to crash because these people, they hate Star Wars. They don't know what Star Wars is. They want to change Star Wars. Infamously, Andor showrunner Tony Gilroy detailed that the show was chasing the audience. He told Variety, I think I was surprised. I thought the show would go the other way, that we would have this gigantic, instantaneous audience that would just be everywhere, but that it would take forever to non-Star Wars people or critics or my cohort of friends to get involved in the show. The opposite happened. We ended up with all this critical praise, all this deep appreciation and understanding from really surprising number of sources, and we're chasing the audience, he admitted. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means apathy. It means that you can put out a good Star Wars show, Andor probably was, but apathy has already driven the audience away. So what does that mean for a just good Lord, how awful can it be show like Ahsoka? It means it crashed. Because not only does it have apathy, but it has yuck, terrible writing, terrible pacing, terrible characters. And now you want to do this with the Acolyte? Folks, this is the end of the Kathleen Kennedy vision for Star Wars. We're going to talk about that more soon. This is the end because Disney cannot continue to subsidize this level of suck. And Disney cannot continue to gaslight us, folks, because they didn't even get to the second episode before we all found out and before we all started sharing out that the original story of the biggest premiere of 2024 was all a bunch of gaslighting. It might be correct on a technicality, and I'm sure it is. But the real story is diminishing Star Wars viewership every single show. Diminishing viewership, and the Acolyte is going to crash that ship. And now, you know. All right, folks, it's your turn. Click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms, it's the notification bell, drop a comment right on down below, let us know your thoughts. And are you surprised that we already know, right on time before episode 2, that the Acolyte has atrophied when it comes to the audience? We'd love to know your thoughts on it. Isn't it amazing how quickly this information gets out there now? Major kudos, by the way, to Valiant Renegade and Midnight's Edge and so many others who have been covering this sort of thing for years and who made it possible now for the mainstream media to wake up because they can't hold the narrative any longer because we're going to hold their feet to the fire. Isn't it a wonderful place to be now where we get the truth out there quickly? It's a good place. The days of The Last Jedi are far, far behind us, folks, where you felt like you had no voice and where voices suddenly sprang forth. That time is over. All right, folks, maybe Star Wars in its current iteration is over. We'll see. But until then, we wish you very, very well. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
What? What? I put out a tweet of a fat minority with a booger in her nose, and I said, "This is an empowered woman." And Katako retweeted it.
You don't have your own X account, do you?
Oh, well, I actually created it a while ago. The greatest troll I've pulled off in a long time. Do you know how many things I've secretly tanked?
Oh gosh, I hope not. That would make me legally culpable. But, what are you talking about?
Sweet Baby Ink.
Huh?
Yep. I'm the...
Shut up.
I'm the CEO. Yeah, no, seriously, look, this is my profile picture. Everyone's just AI. It's great. I'm so excited to gaslight everyone and see what they're gonna like next because they think it's socially obligated.
Wait. So you're... No way. You're
Yep.
the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc.?
Maybe. But first, you should see the jewelry company I created.
We're gonna get sued. Oh.
It's gonna be good.